Good morning or good afternoon, Tigers. Today we're going to be watching a video on the rest of our notes for this unit of multiplying and dividing integers. Right now, I would like for you to open your math notebook and go to page 21. If for whatever reason page 21 is occupied or you accidentally wrote on it, just go find another page. It's fine. As long as you write the notes and you follow along and you stay on task, that's all I care about. So on page 21, you should have titled it Continued. And if we finished it in your class, you'll have reciprocals on the left-hand side and you'll have the definition on the right-hand side. If you have this written already, you can forward it a couple of minutes, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. If you don't have this written, please write it down. So reciprocals, the definition of reciprocal is two numbers whose product is 1 are reciprocals. So it's when two numbers are multiplied together and they equal 1. Typically, you'll always get a fraction. So you'll have an example. Let's say you have 1/2 times 2/1. 1 times 2 equals 2. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. And then 2 times 1 is on the denominator. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. So it's going to be equal to 1. That means that 1/2 and 2/1 are reciprocals. Okay, here's another example. Let's say you have negative 2/3 times negative 3/2, or negative 3/2. It doesn't matter where the negative goes, and you'll see why right now. So the numerators are negative 2 times negative 3, and the denominators are 3 times 2. A negative times a negative is positive. 2 times 3 is 6. The denominator is 3 times 2, and that's 6. 6 goes into 6 one time. So negative 2/3 and negative 3/2 are reciprocals. I spelled the word wrong up here. This is supposed to be an I. Sorry guys, I always spell the word reciprocals wrong. It's a hard word to spell, so I'll forgive you if you spell it wrong. Alright, now this is your task. Your task on your notes is to find the reciprocals of the following. So let me get it for you. Find the So the first one, find the reciprocal of negative 7/4. So you tell me what the reciprocal is, the way I showed you on the examples. Okay. Then give me the reciprocal of negative 1. And then 5. Make sure you give yourself enough space, but go ahead and give me the reciprocal of 1/8 and 0. So pause the video right now and challenge yourself and see if you can actually find the reciprocals. When you're done or you are frustrated and you kind of give up, come back to the video, play it, and see if you're right. So don't go on in the video if you haven't solved it. Please don't do that to yourself. Challenge yourself and try to find the reciprocal. Okay, now that you've paused the video and you've tried to solve the reciprocals, here's what you should have gotten. The reciprocal of -7 over 4 is -4 over 7. The top, a negative times a negative is positive, and that's 28 over 28, and that equals 1. So those are reciprocals. For a whole number or an integer, you just put a 1 under it and multiply it by its opposite to get you the reciprocal. -1 times 1 is -1. 1 times -1 is -1. -1 goes into -1 one time. They're reciprocals. 5. Put a 1 under it, multiply it by its opposite. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 goes into 5 one time. Those are reciprocals. 1 over 8. Just multiply it by 8 over 1. 1 times 8 is 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 goes into 8 one time. Those are reciprocals. Now the last one, 0. 0. Let's see. 0 can have a 1 under it. So multiply it by 1 over 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And that's 0. So does 0 have a reciprocal? No. 0 does not have a reciprocal. That's going to be a digits question. All right, Tigers, this was page 21 of your math notes. We are now going to watch the rest, or we're going to start the video for math notes page 22.